Hey, did we do that termite inspection?
That discount agent said we didn't need to.
All right, welcome.
That's so funny.
That
Not
was funny
though.
That's probably one of the best commercials they do. It really is.
Right?
Yeah, welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate Live. It's Maria, it's Rob. We're having a fantastic time here in our studio. We're so glad you're joining with us. You could be anywhere tonight, anywhere at all. You could be cutting grass. You could be doing chores, but you decided to grab a cold iced tea, sit back and watch us.
Watering your garden.
Water your garden.
Doesn't have to be a chore.
Feed your chickens. You could be feeding chickens right now.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, saving chickens.
That's right. You decided to join us. We're so excited that you're with us tonight. We have a fantastic show coming up. We have two Frontline nurse ladies that are going to just wow us with their information that they have on using a holistic approach to health and wellness. And we're really excited to have them on board with us. We're going to talk about market stats. We're going to talk about a little bit about ADUs. What's an ADU? We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Look forward to seeing you on the flip side. All right, again, welcome. We're really excited to have you on board with us tonight. Let's go through a little bit of housekeeping. If you happen to watching us on YouTube, we are streaming live to Facebook, by the way, to YouTube and to LinkedIn. So if you're watching us, we really do appreciate it. We have a lot of different social medias up there. Right now, you can follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well. We do have a TikTok channel, believe it or not. If you want to see Maria dance, you could do that just by going to our TikTok channel.
He makes me do these things.
That's right, exactly. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on our YouTube channel as well. We greatly appreciate that. It really does help our channel out a lot. And
so what's the N word now? It used to be hit the button. What did Chloe used to say? We should
smash that button.
Smash that button.
Yeah, smash it. Yeah, we're getting
I wonder what it is now.
That's right, exactly. Yeah.
Share with us if you know.
Yeah,
because
I
don't.
Exactly. So,
all right, honey. So tell me something good.
Something good. I tell you what, we've been working with our one of our team members, our son, has been working with
our newest agent,
a youth pastor, a local youth pastor here with Freedom Church.
Yes.
A very young couple, beautiful 2 little kids, and they're wanting to purchase their first house. We're able to get that done for them. It's been literally a 1.5 year process to get this done with this one particular house that we had coming on the market. Just wanted to share with you. So we had an absolute fantastic settlement yesterday. Congratulations again to the DePaula family.
Yes. And to Gabe McCarter on his first official sale. Just being a few weeks licensed as a real estate agent.
These were original owners that got married. They bought this house, and they're basically have sold it now, and it's gone into the hands of the DePaulas, and they're just making a wonderful, having a wonderful time working on that property. So
it needed a little of their own little personality touches on it.
That's correct.
And oh my goodness, so Titus and Lexi, who are the DePaulas, they practically grew up in our home. Our children, our oldest is 29 and our youngest is 18. So we've had youth in our house for all those years, and we have loved every minute of them. So watching them grow up and fall in love and build a family and now be our neighbor is so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. So we're so happy for them. And we love the happy endings. That's what it's all about. What is important to you?
Yeah.
And making your dreams come true. That's why we're here.
Exactly. It is a live program, by the way. Give us a thumbs up if you think we're doing a pretty good job. I appreciate that. Also, you can comment live. So if you put the a comment in there. If you have a question for our guests, a question for us, or a comment, we'll make sure we throw that up on the screen. So we greatly appreciate it. Kind of lets us know how we're doing, and we really appreciate that. So yeah, let's dive into the today's topics. So the topics are what is ADUs? We're going to talk about what ADUs are in Maryland. A recent Senate bill, House bill just came out. West Board just signed off on it.
So it has to be wonderful then.
Can it solve the housing process problems? But I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about that in just a minute. And of course, we have our interview with two awesome Frontline nurses. They're going to discuss a holistic approach to health. And that's going to be the bulk of our program. We'll talk about housing stats. And I have a feeling the things they're
going to say are going to be true. It's not going to be fake news. So
it's
yay.
Not going to be fake news at all. No.
And I want to say hi to Caleb Macy.
Caleb,
one of the finest contractors we know. His work is amazing. So if you need someone to do anything around your home, he's your guy.
That's right. Caleb says we live. Thank you, Caleb, for tuning in. I appreciate that. So we're going to want to dive into some of the real estate topics here. What's an ADU? Well, it's a smaller independent residential dwelling unit located on the same lot as a single family home. So if you ever seen those little bitty homes, you know, that they're almost like a tiny home, if you can think of it that way, that's basically what it is. And let me just share with you what has happened here so far. So what's happened is Maryland's new statewide ADU law has passed, by the way, Senate Bill 891, House Bill 1466, and it's signed by Governor Moore on April 21st, 2021. Just want to show you just a little video clip here of what an ADU is. How about that? Would you like to have that on your property?
You know, I just showed a client a house this week, and we had discussed putting one of those on the property.
That's an ADU there. So accessory dwelling units, again, they are now a by right use in single family residential zones. The legislation mandates the following, and I want to share this with you.
Just in time.
It does mandate the following. So ADUs are allowed by right in all single family zones. However, there's a couple little caveats to it. One is your homeowners association may not enforce blanket bans. That's number one. They can stipulate certain restrictions, okay, just to let you know of that, but they cannot enforce a blanket ban for you to have that in your community. Counties and municipalities throughout Maryland must update their zoning codes, by the way, to comply by October 1st, 2026. And ADUs remain subject to local standards for things like size, for placement, for parking, and architectural design. Another big issue that came up, by the way, was what if I have a septic system? Can I tie the ADU into the septic system? It has to abide by the local laws for your septic, for your well, and things like that. If it can't comply to it, if you have a septic system on a half-acre lot, right, and you want to build an ADU, but you don't have enough space to handle that additional bathroom that's going to be added to that septic system, you're not going to be able to build an ADU. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. If there are, if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact myself. You can contact your builder. If you're looking into possibly building an ADU, some of the purposes would be, what are some of the purposes? You tell me. What do you think some of the purposes
in-laws.
would be? In-laws.
If you have in-laws that, you know, want to be close to their family.
That's correct.
And you have joined families, that's a great idea.
Yep.
If your husband gets on your nerves and you want to send him out for a little bit, you could send him to that house. What do you think? So anyway,
I'm not sure if that was the intention of an ADU, ladies and gentlemen. Just anyway, let's do a few little crickets here.
But
from Maria,
Caleb had mentioned he could build one.
He said he could build one.
I'm sure he could build more than one.
Reach out to him online if you want. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Caleb, make sure that you share your information so that everyone can see that as well.
That's right.
I don't know. What would you use yours for?
So an ADU would be mainly,
or if you
honestly,
had one built.
It would help us out. Like if you have a college student, right? A college student child, and they're returning to home, and they need to save up money for a couple of years, maybe for their own home. That would be a great idea for an ADU.
And plus, aging parents. If we did that, they would never leave. We've got to get
and we would have to have 4 ADUs, you know, basically on our property just to satisfy them. And also,
thank goodness the kids are not listening.
Yeah, for aging parents as well. So aging parents, if you have aging parents, that would be a great option for them. So they're hoping that this helps out, relieve some of the pressure on our housing market in Maryland. with the lack of inventory that we have and the plethora of buyers that are out there. And that's what an ADU is all about. So, hey, let's get to our guests, right?
right.
This is going to be so much fun.
Definitely
Let's welcome Miss Ellen O'Connell and Chelsea Brown. Let's welcome them with, yes, give them a round of applause. Yes.
Hello, ladies. We're so glad you could join us.
Yep,
Thanks so
absolutely.
much for having us.
No, it's really exciting to have you on board. I know we've been working on this a while. So, first of all, share with everyone, share with our audience who you are and how you two came to connect to be able to work your business and to establish your business for our community.
Sure. So my name's Ellen. I've been a registered nurse for about 10 years. I've done a little bit of everything. I started in pediatric nursing, then I went to psychiatric nursing, and I've also done urgent care and most recently wellness. And Chelsea and I actually met in a homeschool co-op. We both homeschool our kiddos. And she shared her vision with me, but she'll tell you more about that.
Chelsea, how are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you guys again for having us.
Yeah, fantastic,
so
fantastic.
welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Chelsea. I was a registered nurse for roughly 10 plus years at this point. But then I went back to school starting in 2017 and got my nurse practitioner. So I've been doing that over the years, just like Ellen, kind of worked in like a variety of different settings. I've done lots of critical care, orthopedics. I've done alternative medicine, palliative care, hospice, and then a couple of just like general endoscopy suites and things like that. So yeah, like Ellen said, we met in a homeschool co-op and really just got linked together through our kids. And just over talking over the years, we've kind of, when the vision came, I shared it with her, but we were able to kind of connect just over like health in general and just kind of a lot of what we've gone through personally. We were able to really connect with that. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So your organization, your company is TSUR Restoration. Is that correct? So it's SURrestoration.com.
Sir.
Sure. SUR.
What?
SUR.
Sir. So
Sir.
the T is silent.
But so I said sure.
I was going to ask you to pronounce, but I just let him dive in.
I messed up the pronunciation.
And do what he normally does.
Like, thank you, sir. Like,
Yeah,
instead of SIR, it's TSUR, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Let the ladies talk.
I'm sorry. Okay.
You ask a question, but you want to answer it.
That's
too,
right. I
so
want to
let
answer
them
it too.
talk.
Yep. So it is TSUR Restoration Wellness.
Okay.
And do you want to explain the meaning, Chelsea?
Sure. So, kind of just a little bit of a backstory, just kind of where this all came from. So, I started my holistic kind of healing health journey in 2018, right after I had my third child. And really just kind of went down that path. I was sick and I was not getting better no matter what I tried, no matter how many doctors I went to, like nothing was working. And, just through like a lot of research, a lot of prayer, I changed my diet drastically, changed a lot of just the products that I was using and things, and over a long period of time generally got better. So it kind of just became like a love that I just developed of like, using food as medicine and alternative healing and things like that. And then around, obviously, the COVID era, that time, 2020, it was funny. I actually had made a post one day, just when things were kind of really cracking down, just on healthcare workers being fired for not taking vaccines. I had just randomly made a post one day, and I say it started with an idea, or I started with a thought, then it became an idea, then it became a vision. And it was just a general post that I had made, like, oh, wouldn't it be great if like one day we had this, nurse-led, holistic-based healthcare practice that served believers. And, I sent it to Ellen like years later through a screenshot, and she was like, oh my goodness. So that was kind of the thought, and I posted it and just kind of never thought about it after that. And then maybe a year or two later, I had a friend who was like, when things were getting even a little more grim, she was like, are you ready to like treat believers? Like, who are kind of not able to like be in the system and things. And I'm like, no, God wouldn't, use me to do something like that. That's like way over my head. So just kind of again brushed it off. And then as God is, he just keeps bringing things back until you stop being stubborn. Then I went through a really, really tough season in 2022. And I remember crystal clear as day. I was sitting out front on the front porch at my dad's house. We were actually doing some renovations to his home as we prepared to sell it. And it was just like God just downloaded the vision completely, like the name, our purpose, the scripture. And I just grabbed my phone. I've learned years ago that when God starts downloading something, just get it out. So I started taking the notes in my phone, and I just sat on it. I got the vision, but just didn't get the go. So just sat on it for a while. And then one day called Ellen and I just was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. You might think I'm a little crazy, but I just want to share something with you. Just because, like I said, we had developed such a connection over like just things that we had went through, what I was going through with my dad, what she was going through with her dad, our own holistic healing journeys. But she thankfully did not think I was crazy at all. She was like, I love it. And at that point, we decided to pray and we fasted. And we asked for clarity specifically from the Lord to kind of give us clarity of is this what we're supposed to be doing with this? And at the end of our fast, we prayed again and it was a go. And we've been working really hard ever since to make the dream happen.
Wow.
That is so exciting. I know I went to see Barbara O'Neill out
Yeah.
in Garrett County. And
So
my
cool.
daughter, Chloe, who is 23, she had been telling me, Mom, we've got to change this. You got to throw this away. We've got to do that. And she has struggled with eczema since she was a baby. And it's been an eyesore for her. Like kids would make fun of her in school. She would, have, she'd be itching all the time. And I don't want to give her medicine constantly. And then we're giving her steroids from the dermatologist, which I find out now are absolutely terrible for you and have like, backlash of side effects even years later. But anyway, so she did some research. So I mean, I'm the girl now that makes her own hand soap, who makes her own laundry detergent, who threw away all the seed oils that were brand new, and I wanted to like get them back out of the trash and pull them back out. And then I said, well, maybe we should give them to a neighbor. And Chloe says, put them in the trash, Mom. You're gonna hurt somebody else by giving them to them. So, but anyway, like you, I had posted some just general information, and like, oh my lands, my Facebook blew up, and I like bought the her videos of because it was a week-long teaching we went to. I convinced Rob
That's
to, to
amazing.
to go with us in Deep Creek so I didn't get attacked by a bear or something. I'd never been to Deep Creek, to Garrett County ever. And like she only goes to places that are like mountainous, not a city.
Hmm.
She doesn't want to be around all the pollution and all the people. Like
Mhm.
it cracks me up. Now I know. Now I understand. Like, why did she come all the way out here? But anyway, but so then my love has been sparked by that because when you listen to what you guys already know and are going to be teaching others, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it really makes sense. But so tell us, like, where's your office going to be, and what does the name of the business mean? Like,
So, sir, the name Sir is actually Hebrew. It's the Hebrew root word for rock. And Chelsea got the vision off of Matthew 7:25, which says, the rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall because it had its foundation on the rock. So when building this business, we are building it on a firm foundation, which is Jesus Christ. So we are incorporating that into our care. So we're addressing the mind, the body, and the spirit. We want to make sure that all those systems are in balance and working together. We actually don't have a brick and mortar practice. We are a online holistic wellness company. So we're going to be doing telehealth visits by
awesome.
appointment.
That's great. I mean, I'll be honest. We have Medishare, so we don't even have like health insurance. Being self-employed, it's so expensive. I mean, it was more than my mortgage, and I was like, that makes no sense. I could just buy another house. So we do MediShare. It's the Christian sharing, and they do free telehealth. So we haven't really seen a doctor in a little while, but I mean, things like blood work and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, checkups and things like that. I do.
So let me ask you, even though you canceled your last appointment, just saying. But anyway, do you guys, can you give like a script for like blood work to be done? Because the more I'm reading, there's things that they don't even check for that are really important. And I don't even know, like Chloe went in with a list when she did all this work. She went in with a list to the doctor. I want these tests. Can you add them to the thing? And she had no idea that she was going to be upping her expenses by doing that. But she was really glad to get them done. So see, I don't even know. I don't know. You tell me. Can you give scripts of certain requests for things like that? Awesome.
Yeah, we can. So there is a variety of tests. Of course, there's always, your standard labs that like your primary care doctor is going to draw annually. And if someone has those labs already, we will gladly look through them. We've had, a couple of people so far who have like sent over their labs just so we can kind of preliminarily look at them and just kind of get an idea of where things are. However, like you said, there are more tests that usually don't get done. There is outside of even just blood panels, right? Or the serums that we get where we go into a phlebotomy lab and or our doctor's office and they draw our blood. There's a variety of other tests. There are some of the very popular functional lab tests that you'll probably hear or see online would be like a Dutch test, which is a urine analysis that really gives you a very comprehensive look at your hormone levels. There is a GI map test, which is basically it's a stool analysis. However, it looks at all of the good and bad bugs that are in your GI tract, along with some really important enzymes. There is that. And then there's like a hair, tissue, and mineral analysis, which is also really becoming quite popular. And that looks at the minerals. It looks at the ratios of the minerals. So that way we can find out, just because, even when we try our best and we do all of the right things, our food just isn't as nutrient dense as it once was. So yeah, we can definitely do that. We offer all of those labs. And then additionally, we're able to draw, or we don't actually draw them. We would order the labs. And then from there, you could either go to a phlebotomy lab like LabCorp or depending on which lab would be closest to you, we actually have a map with our the lab that we use to order them.
Okay.
There's a map where you could find which location would be closer to you. And then there's also mobile lab services, which is like a new thing where they can actually come to your house and draw the labs. So cool. There's, always a little bit of like an extra cost to go get them drawn or to have them come to your house. But that's definitely something that we can order. And it's definitely something that we use because those labs are so beneficial to really understanding what's going on inside that we can't see.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. So I just want to kind of paint a picture for our audience of exactly the kind of services that you are looking to provide, right, to the community. And that is, let's say I just got diagnosed, whatever, from my doctor. Maybe I have, let's say, diabetes. Okay. I was pre-diabetic. Now I have full-blown diabetes. I'm very confused as to, what my diet should look like, what I should be doing on a daily basis, maybe what type of vitamins should I be taking and things like that, just to be able to turn this around without, and understanding that I don't want medication, right? I'm not at that point where I really want to accept the fact that medication. I feel like I might be able to turn this around myself. At what point do I go to your website? Do I fill out a contact form? And just give me kind of the step-by-step approach of how you can work with me to help me out.
Yeah, well, you would be our ideal client because our focus is prevention of chronic disease. And even if you've already been diagnosed with a chronic disease, there's definitely lots of tools that we can give you to help you with your symptoms and hopefully resolve any issues that you're having. So what you would do is you'd go to our website and hit the book now button and schedule a discovery call with me. And we'd go through your health history. We'd go through any current or past health issues that you're having. And then you tell me what your goals are, whether it's you want to lose weight, you want to have less sugar cravings, you want to stabilize your blood sugars, whatever it is. then we would set up a treatment plan for you based on your goals. And we would approach everything with a holistic and functional medicine approach. So we would be focusing on your nutrition and optimizing your health with good nutrition, good sleep, changing your lifestyle. We would provide lots of education on all those things. We could do functional lab testing if necessary. And we would come up with achievable goals. The one thing that's frustrating for people, especially with a new diagnosis, is they get very overwhelmed because there's so many things that they feel they need to change. So we would break it down for you, create smaller, more achievable goals, and work with you so that you can be successful in your journey.
Yeah, that's great. So let me ask you this question, because that's fantastic. What's, can you share with anyone that's watching right now, what's one small change that somebody can make today, right, to start improving their health? One small change.
Do you want to share one and I'll share one, Ellen?
Sure. There's so many good ones. I would say one small change that really makes a big difference is eating whole foods. So shopping organic when you can, and just trying your best to stay away from the typical standard American diet, which is high sugar, high carbs, and it's really low in fiber and just low in the nutrients that our body needs to be healthy. So just choosing more whole foods and less processed ingredients and meals.
So can I add to that? I have my own garden. I grow things organically. I said to Rob that the bugs are eating it. He goes, "Oh, here I've got I don't know what spray he had." I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
That's not true.
Put that away. You're going to ruin my garden."
That's
Right?
not
It's the only thing that's going to kill the bugs. I said, "No, I'll find something." And I made my own baking
It's
soda
acid.
and something. You know what it is because it's cancer causing and the pharmaceutical
Use
companies.
Roundup.
Yeah, and they own that, and then they own the cure, so they say. But anyway, we won't go that direction. But anyway, when you're going to, so I can only grow so much. He won't let me have any fruit trees, so I'm really upset about that. But anyway, you go to the store, organic isn't organic. From what I understand, there's a world leader out there that puts a sticker on it, and it's not really organic. So someone even said to me that Costco had the worst. And I'm like, but Costco, I'm gonna cry. But
I love Costco too.
So how do we know? I was at one of those fancy markets recently, like Trader Joe's, and the guy, one of the meat guys there, was telling me, he brushes his teeth with charcoal and coconut oil, so he really is very in tune with healthy things. And he said, "You got to look at the label, Maria. They're not all really good organic." And I'm like, "Okay, so this is like you just said, is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
How do we know other than hopefully go to the farmer's market and hope that it's really homegrown,
Yeah, shopping local is definitely your best bet. If you have a farmer's market, you can get your meats and fruits and veggies from somebody that you trust, that isn't putting pesticides in the soil. That's really your best bet. But yeah, it can be frustrating because it feels like everything is toxic. We got food dyes. We got to worry about what we're feeding our kids, and that's where it's our passion to provide education, especially to moms who just feel overwhelmed with, trying to feed themselves and their kids healthy food. So just taking it one step at a time. And like you were talking about seed oils, just figuring out, one thing at a time that you can eliminate, because if you try to do it all at once, a lot of people just get overwhelmed and end up giving up.
Quitting, yeah.
Chelsea,
Yeah.
what was that? What's one thing that you're thinking of?
I would say sleep. We
Yes.
need sleep.
She's
We
so
are
right.
a sleepless society. I feel like I kind of grew up in this era of hustle, 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 boss babe.
Right.
I don't want to be a boss babe. I want to be a refreshed, happy, awake boss babe. I don't
Right.
want to do all of the extra
Right.
things. Get a bedtime routine and just focus on getting good sleep. Trying
Yes.
to cut out the screens as much as possible before you go to sleep. Get a good
So you
bed.
don't think you should take it to bed with you and be looking at it right before you go to sleep?
I may not.
What do you
even
think? Did I not say that was absolutely terrible for you? Thank you. And we should be leaving it in a different room.
I'm so bad.
Yes.
should, right? But even honestly, like, and there are some nights where like I'm still on my phone, like before I go to sleep. Like, here's my thing. I'm never going to attain this like level of perfection. And that's what I have to just like, even myself, right? So like we're educating and we're helping people go through this, but this is a lifestyle, right? It's not something that we just go like, nope, I'm going to do this. And this is just, what it's going to be like, where we get rigorous about it. Because what does that do? Causes stress, right? And
Yes.
stress is not good for us, right? There is
Right.
good stress, eustress, which is when we're stressed because we have a wedding this weekend, but we're excited, right? So we're stressed about making sure we have everything that we need to go before we go and we have the right outfit and we're going to look nice. But at the same time, we're excited about it. But then there's distress, which is the kind of stress that literally stresses us out and our body feels it. So when I say get a bedtime routine, that's something that like even I've really, really been working on the last like year or so. I've been a night shifter for many years. So like prioritizing sleep was a big thing for me. And in order for me to actually go to sleep and sleep well, I need a routine. So I try to do that routine. If and I miss it a few days a week, it's okay. Don't stress about it. But yeah, definitely just try to develop a solid routine to where as though you're giving your body the ability to like go into that sleep state, because that is when healing takes place, when our bodies are resting. So definitely sleep, prioritize it, prioritize a bedtime routine, and just do the best you can with it, one step at a time, one change at a time. This is a lifestyle, it's a marathon. This is something that I don't want to get so stressed out about and rigorous about over the next few weeks to months that I say, you know what, forget this. I'm going to scroll on TikTok until I fall asleep every single night. I want to have the same routine in 40 years and I want it to feel natural and I want to look forward to it. I want to look forward to going to sleep at night.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I've been only saying that for like
Mhm.
how long?
Yep.
But I just read an article last night that said that high sugar levels or high A1Cs and high and lack of sleep both are contributing factors to like early Alzheimer's
Mhm.
and things like that. And that's when I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah,
so, and memory, good things for memory,
exactly. Yeah.
sugar makes you right. They say that it can cause cloudiness in your thinking, and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, well, I think we need to have a health minute every show and have the girls come in and just give us a little blurb,
That'd be
and
great.
we can do that. Like, don't you think?
I think it's
Isn't that a
great.
great idea?
I'm all for it.
I love it.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. What's one of the let me ask this question. So what's one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about functional medicine? Like, that you could clear up for all of our viewers that are
Well,
watching right
what
now.
is functional
Well, yeah,
medicine?
yeah,
I don't even
describe
know
what
if
that is
people know
first,
what
yeah.
that really
Yeah,
means.
yeah.
I mean, I know what that means,
Right.
but
Yeah. So functional medicine is really a holistic approach to disease and the management of disease. So what I like about it is that it really looks at all the body systems. So functional medicine seeks to find out what the underlying cause of your negative health symptoms are, and it seeks to restore balance. So it looks at all the body systems. So if you're having an issue like with your stomach, we're not just going to look at your GI system. We're going to look at all the other systems, and we're really going to try to figure out what caused this issue in the first place. So we're going to use a root cause analysis approach to try to figure out what it is. Because once you figure out what caused it, and if you can eliminate that, hopefully it will get rid of all your other symptoms. Because our body's systems were made to work in harmony and in balance. And when one thing is out of balance, it just causes this whole cascade of negative reactions, and you end up with all these symptoms. And sometimes you're like, what's going on? So the nice thing about functional medicine is that we take the time to really do a deep dive and figure out what's actually going on.
Mm. Yep.
that's
That's
great.
great. Yeah. Yeah. So what now that we have an idea of what functional medicine is, what's maybe a misconception that those that are watching right now that they would have over functional medicine?
That's I feel like there's many answers to that.
Sure.
I feel like think there's a lot of misconceptions, but I think if I had to pick one, or maybe the most general one, I think it would be that it doesn't work. And I say that because I still work in a critical care setting. I see medicine, I see interventions, I see all of these things work. So because of the setting and because of how our healthcare system kind of works now, it's typically a very quick gratification type of thing.
Yes.
You have a symptom, something doesn't feel right, something doesn't feel good. You make your appointment. You go to the doctors, you tell them what's wrong. They say, okay, try this. And that typically would be a prescription. Sometimes there would be some testing. Sometimes it would be like okay, well, try this for like, a few weeks. And if it doesn't work, we're going to have to look at surgery, just depending on what it is, right? There's a vast array of like different reasons you would go to the doctors. But with functional medicine, I think the reason why a lot of people, and or even if it's just in the healthcare field, people think it doesn't work is because it's not a quick fix, right? So a lot of times we get a label of a diagnosis and it is a chronic disease, or, like you said earlier, I'm not quite, diabetic, but I'm pre-diabetic, but, so we've got these labels of disease and we think that they just happened like yesterday. It started a month ago. It didn't start a month ago. It started
Right.
probably years ago, right?
Right.
So before
Right.
we ever got to pre-diabetes, we started having some insulin resistance. And before we started having some insulin resistance, there you see it's kind of like a pathway that over time these things develop. They don't just happen overnight. Typically they take years for it to develop into a full-blown diseased state where we can give you an actual diagnosis. This has been going on for years. And if it took years to develop, it's probably, hopefully not going to take years, but it's not going to get fixed overnight. It's going to take time. And sometimes that does involve the use of medicine. Sometimes that does involve us working with your primary care doctor. If you have high blood pressure, it would be negligent for your doctor to let you walk out of the office with a blood pressure that is significantly high risk of you having a stroke before you get back home, right? That we wouldn't want that.
Right.
But the thing about the functional medicine is it is okay. So you are on this lisinopril for your high blood pressure, which is very high. Okay, let's use this as a tool to keep your body safe in the meantime so we don't have any catastrophic events, right? We want you to be well. But in the meantime, what are we going to do to reverse this? So that way, in 3 months, in 6 months, by next year, not only is your blood pressure much better, not only is it at a safe level, you've lost some weight. You have more energy. You're sleeping better. You just generally feel better. So it takes time. We have to look at your nutrition. We need to make some changes. What works? What doesn't work? So it definitely takes time. And I think that just because we live in my old pastor used to call it a microwave society. We want everything quickly. And it just, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes it does, right? Sometimes it really, truly does. But generally it takes a little bit of time to see the results. So it does work. We just have to give it time to work. And I think that's kind of where the misconception does occur.
Yeah.
So ladies, who can reach out to you? Do you have an age limit? Do you specialize on any specific things? Like, if the kids are sick, can we call you? Like, who do you serve? Who will you be serving?
So we're going to start off with serving women.
Okay.
We're not going to do pediatric patients at this point,
Okay.
but we have a passion to help moms of any age, really, and women of any age struggling with any condition. We'd love the opportunity to help you. And then possibly in the future, we would branch out to working with men as well.
Great.
Yeah, no, I think that's fantastic. So, and the other thing is, I'll just give you a heads up. A lot of the things that Maria follows, my wife follows on social media, and Dr. McCullough and just all these different doctors, health doctors. I really appreciate the fact that she kind of gives me that information and relieves me from having to do a lot of that investigating. So, just give a shout out to all the ladies out there that are watching this. Please, once you get this information, obviously you're going to share that with your husband, and hopefully he's intuitive enough and he's receptive enough to take that, because there's a lot of different vitamins and stuff that I take now today that I wouldn't otherwise have taken if it wasn't for, Maria doing a lot of these investigative
And it's
things.
not just social media, honey.
Well,
there are some
social
people, media, yes.
So no, there are some doctors on social media
read.
that we both follow as well. Like I just heard a doctor a couple of days ago on Instagram said, "Hey, if your food has a list of ingredients, a long list of ingredients on the box, that's not meant to be eaten by us. It just isn't.
Anyone.
Eat something from the ground. Eat, cucumber, eat popcorn, whatever it is, right? But not the items that have the list of ingredients on the box, because that's not what you want for healthy eating. So,
Right.
And that's kind of simple. That's simple to start by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I think
like
it
the
is.
ladies were
That's what I meant by
saying,
Whole Foods.
That's right. I remember. So, Ellen, I was just mentioning exactly. That's where that came from. When you mentioned that, I thought to myself, "Oh gosh, you're right." When we go to the grocery store, we take a second look at the ingredients. We take a second look at what we're actually purchasing.
Like
it's
the
not
protein
100%.
drinks, they're horrible. There's so many ingredients.
Some of them are,
And
I used to
the
love
second ingredient's
protein
canola
drinks.
oil, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me!
Yeah.
Like we've had to put stuff away, throw things away, you know.
Yeah. And I know they have an app out there that you can scan labels of products and you can see if it's healthy or not for you.
I
and
don't
things
know
of
if
that
the
nature.
Yuka app is for food.
I don't
Do
know.
you guys have that app?
I
It's called
don't,
Yuka.
but I've heard of an app that does that.
Oh, wow.
I was just Chloe has it on her phone and went in my bathroom and starts doing my shampoo, and she's like, "Mom, you got to throw this all out." I'm like, "Girlfriend, do you have any money? Because to rebuy all this is crazy."
Once you find certain products and certain foods that and trust that you love, then you can kind of repeatedly buy those. But initially it does take a little bit of work and digging to find those things. But again, if you just focus on like one area, like this month I'm gonna make sure that all my health and beauty products are non-toxic. So you pick one thing per month to focus on, because especially like people with kids and their husbands, if you change everything at once, they're gonna like be in shock.
So Ellen, Chelsea, let me ask you this question. I know you've already answered it in kind of a roundabout way earlier in our show, but so if I'm a lady and I went to the doctor and I have a blood tests that are concerning to me, right? And my doctor, I don't feel that they're giving me really the right information that I need to become like this healthy person. I think you've made it pretty easy that I could just submit that test to both of you. And then whether it's by Zoom, or I don't know if you do it in person, but by Zoom or something, you can walk me through those test results and help formulate a program or something for me to start that healthy lifestyle. That's really what we're looking for here. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's basically it. And we do basically, if you have that test or you've had the tests before and you're like, I just need some help, you would kind of book that call with Ellen. And the cool thing is about that initial call with Ellen is free, so it can kind of help you decide if you want to work with us. And it gives you the ability to realize, like, do I want to make this commitment? Do I want to like let these young ladies help me or not? So it's a good, just, it's not going to cost you anything to do that. But then if you decide that you want to work with us, we would have you, of course, like give us those lab tests, but then we would send you basically a really comprehensive intake assessment where we try to really, really, really understand just everything you're experiencing. And then we look a lot into your past history as well. And a lot of times when we go to the doctors, they all have us fill out, like, if you have these diseases, like check the box. And it's got all these boxes that you can check. We look a lot deeper than that. We don't want to know like just what you were diagnosed with. We want to know, what was your childhood like? There's a lot of things that kind of go into this just functional analysis, where we're not just looking at the labels. We want to know a lot of other things too. Have you experienced things like, did you have tummy aches a lot as a child? Did you miss a lot of school? Did you get ear infections when you were a kid? These are actually all really important things that go into adulthood, that even though they happened in your childhood, or even if they happened in infancy, it can truly still have an impact on your body at this time. So we'll do like a really comprehensive intake assessment with you. And then, we'll look at the labs and we'll go from there step by step.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that
great.
sounds great. So, ladies, if somebody wants to make that call, they go to your website. Is
Yep.
that correct?
Yes, you can
I
go
think
to
Rob had that up.
TSURrestoration.com.
Okay. And
Yep.
that's where they're going to start by trying to reach out there.
Yeah, it's a fantastic website. I've been there,
Great.
and you've made it very crystal clear as far as what the expectations are. For me, if I was a female, obviously it would. You've set those expectations and what I can expect from you as well. And I just love that that you're really going to help coach me along in the right direction, right? To healthy living, and I really do appreciate that. I think it's great.
Well, for our listeners, start with good sleep habits.
That's right. Yeah, good. That's
Going to
right.
bed earlier. That would be me. And look for more whole foods, less ingredients,
Yeah, I love that.
And if anyone out there has any concerns or just wants to reach out, remember your first consultation is free, right? Did I hear you say that? If
Yep.
I'm correct?
Correct.
And
yes.
check out their website. Give them a call.
Check out the website, and after the show, we'll have links, by the way, in the description. So if you ever need to refer back to the show and you want to click on the link for the website, you can absolutely do that, and make sure that you start eating healthy and get healthy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're also on Facebook, Instagram.
Oh, good. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'll put those
Do you
links
have
in the
those
description
links?
as well.
Okay, honey.
Yeah, I'll put those links in the
Great,
description, and it'll be
great.
fantastic.
Well,
Well,
thank you for your time, ladies.
Yeah, thank you for your time. Any
Thanks
final
So
for having
thoughts?
excited
us.
for you.
Any final thoughts before we let you go?
Well, we just hope you come check us out. We'd love the opportunity to help you restore your health to God's original intention. God's desire for us is to have happy lives and to live it to the fullest. And so we just want to help give you a chance to achieve that.
That's
Awesome.
fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome.
Two are better than one.
Two are better than
Always.
one. Let's give a round of applause for joining us. We appreciate it. And we hope we get a chance to talk to you soon, okay?
Thanks, ladies.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Have a
All
great
right,
night.
Take care. Yeah. Well, that was fantastic.
I know. This is definitely up
are
my alley.
wonderful.
I
Yeah.
want to do, I've already said, a health minute
Okay.
from SOAR.
Okay,
So
we'll do
I'm going to
that.
talk to the ladies about that. So
Health minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
And whatever they get, information they
Yep.
give you, you're going to share with me, right? Because you want to keep
Yep.
me healthy.
They could even maybe do
Okay, I just want to double check.
Yeah, but you don't listen to me. What are we going to do about
I
that?
do listen to you. I do.
Really? The
But
first
when
thing
you
you
buy
ate today
chocolate chip
was a
cookies,
piece
it's hard
of
to listen to
chocolate,
you.
even though it was dark chocolate.
It's easier to listen when you don't have the chocolate chip cookies or you don't make them.
No, we
you
have
know?
to have discipline.
Well,
honey.
you like making the sourdough chocolate chip cookies, which is like
Okay,
half healthy.
sourdough is a lot of work. I'm in retirement right now.
Is it half
Sourdough is a
healthy?
lot of work. Just
Okay,
saying.
it is a lot of work.
Although I am
know.
going to make focaccia bread.
Well, I'm motivated to grab my vitamins when we're done, so that's perfect.
Well, you need to
I
take
really
them in the
appreciate it.
morning. That's my
right.
point.
I do.
It's going to start
I
getting
know.
dark and our bodies are going to start slowing
I know.
down.
Exactly.
But
All right.
like, yes.
Listen.
Oh, I do want to mention one thing.
Go
If
ahead.
Ellen is still listening, we did this whole healthy makeup, skincare thing at Christmas time. There is a Westman Atelier that is
What?
all natural. I know.
What's
And I think you can only find it at Nordstrom. It's crazy.
Milwaukee
expensive.
Tools? What?
So anyway, and then Chloe, oh my goodness. I think it's something mineral. But I'll have to find it for you because I had to drive to 10 places to find it for Chloe.
So we need to do another show with giving a list of all the stuff you recommend, right?
That would be great. We'd love
That-
to do that.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. So let's
Yeah.
schedule something like that. Our viewers will really
Yes,
love that because
yes.
there's stuff all over the place and you don't know the right stuff to get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's battling for that space of I'm healthier than you, that type of thing.
Yep.
So
I
as
love that.
Ellen brought that up, I know you're going to be mad at me for going on and on, but oh well. So I had my foundation skincare. It broke in the glass, and it only had a little bit left that I could actually scrape out of, and I put it in another little glass. So then when I was all done with it, I had some scrapes left. I threw it in the dishwasher to just get it clean. It doesn't come out. I have scrubbed it with a toothbrush without bleach, though, no bleach, but scrub, and it doesn't come off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if it doesn't come off, it comes off my
What am I
face.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah. What am I putting on my skin that it's
Your
not
face.
coming off? Yes.
This is another show.
Yeah.
This is absolutely another show. We're going to plan
Whole
this.
makeup thing.
Yeah, we're definitely going to plan this. The
know.
makeup, the products that
Well,
we need to be
skincare,
using.
honey, skincare.
Exactly. All right.
Yes, keyword.
Ladies, we're going to let
All
you
right.
go. We're going to dive right into our calendar of events and we'll be right
basics. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We dance on the same wavelength. This feels like a new beginning. We both know what we want. Let's just keep it simple. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So won't you let me trip, trip, trip with you? Leading on fire, leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me trip, trip, trip with you? Leading on fire, leave us till tomorrow. So won't you let me? So won't you let me? So won't you let me? I dream that if I can hold you close, you can be my antidote. Let me run away through the night. Let us leave the world behind. Give in, keep yourself thinking. Tonight, let go as you're dreaming. I was feeling down low, you just brought me straight up. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, we're going to dive right
Alrighty.
into the
No,
market stats.
First, I want to say how great that rodeo was.
Oh, I did like
A
that.
rodeo is coming, and then
No.
that seafood festival in Delaware.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a rodeo.
Yummy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to read bad things about the seafood
That's right. Yep.
because
We'll
they
be-
may not want to eat it.
We'll be right back. Hang with us for just a couple more seconds here.
Get you whatever you want. I'll settle for nothing. As long as we can keep the fire. I'll do whatever you do. Follow you anywhere. If our chances are getting
All right.
Wow, Carroll County's housing prices
I
are
know.
skyrocketing.
Yeah, if you want to go back and
Wow.
take a look at those stats again, please feel free to do that. And we appreciate the comments are still coming in. Kelly, thank you
Yes.
so much for joining with us. She says thank you to Ellen and Chelsea for your information. And we certainly expect to have another program coming up with them. It'd be wonderful to know about some of the products that are out there, some of the foods that are healthy foods, healthy choices, and maybe even makeup. I don't know. You know, I probably won't be a part of that show, but that's
Skincare.
okay. Skincare
That's
and things
okay,
like
honey.
that.
You
That's
can
right.
just-
Exactly. I know. Well, it was a joy to have them on, and we hope to see you next time. It's going to be a couple of weeks. We do it probably every
Have a great
bi-weekly,
week.
Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. And we look
Yes.
forward to seeing you next time. Rhea, we're always what?
Better together.
We're always better together.
And kids, enjoy your last week of school.
That's right.
It's almost over.
That's right. Remember, Maryland Homes team, put us at the top of the list if you're thinking of buying or selling a home.
Oh.
We would love to be able to service you.
Last reminder. Sorry, I have all this in my head. We are having a client event this Saturday at the Fallston. What is it?
Fallston Horizon Theater.
Horizon to see How to Train a Dragon. I actually love that movie. Just saying, but I
We've
just
got
love
the whole
movies.
theater, so if you want
And
to
the
see that
snacks,
program,
the goodies,
that
all
movie,
complimentary. So
all
come join
complimentary,
us.
popcorn, Coke.
Let me know.
But you have to RSVP. Seating is limited,
Just
so
send
keep
me
that
a
in mind.
text. I'll take
That's
care of
right.
it.
We'll see you next time. Love you,
Bye-bye.
babe.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. Something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You What's your type? Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection.